pleasure to welcome you here in Kozanam building for the talk Rock Your Logistic with Odoo. As you can see, his motto is better, faster, magic, and we had to cope with that. As a summary, we're going to have a brief introduction to get some history of this project. Then we will dive into the added value of this work, and we will end up with a case study and a full flow demo down here at the Kozanam company. So as an introduction, Odoo provide already a good basis in regard of warehousing management and supply chain management. And at the point, a major customer of Camp2Camp, Kozanam, decided to push the things even forward. Strengthened by 15 years delivering project in the retail, wholesale and e-commerce industry, Camp2Camp decided to take the challenge. So by the end of 2018, we built the dream team and started working on it to build a skyrocket warehousing management system for Odoo. It took us 2,000 days of investment, and the go-live just took place 3 days ago here in this place in Zurich. And a complete open source warehousing management system was born. A few words about Camp2Camp, which I'm part of. So we are gold partner of Odoo since 2006, and the company was founded almost 20 years ago. We were always editor and integrator of open source softwares. We count over more than 110 employees to date, and our offices are located in France, Switzerland and Germany. For this project, several stakeholders took part and were involved in it. So, of course, we had the customer, Kozanam, a world-class medical logistic company, and several Odoo integrators that participated in achieving this goal. And we also had a supply chain consulting company that helped us to design the best process suited for the job. Here is the 10 key people, 10 amazing people from whole board with a lot of experience in different areas, supply chain, back-end development, front-end development, and also a strong experience in supply chain and warehousing management systems. So the result is a wide open source ecosystem to manage the warehouses and the whole supply chain. It is targeted for the wholesale, e-commerce and assembly industry, and it was all being built on top of Odoo and released within the ecosystem of the Odoo Community Association. So the added value, what could you expect from all this work? First of all, it allows you to connect your business decision service definition with an operational and logistic operational systems. It means you're going to receive all your order through EDI, you're going to apply all the service agreement you had with your customer, and it's also linked with all the invoicing part and e-billing. Secondly, it is completely integrated inside Odoo. It means you can use all the standard apps of Odoo, the sales, the purchase and all the rest. It's also compatible with the enterprise modules as well as all the Odoo Community Association applications. It allows you to manage complex warehouse setups with different logistic units, storage types, different picking zones, as well as interconnection between automated and manual picking place. It also allows you to automate the decision through a self-learning DDMRP approach, and that helps you trigger at the proper moment the proper quantity of the goods that should deliver where. So it manages the external procurement as well as the internal replenishment, and you can also deal with the inter-warehouse moves. And it also allows you to guide your operators through a multi-stage material flow via handheld devices, and that means you can realize multiple packing operations. At the same time, it supports zone picking, single and multi-order pickings, and it also offers you a possibility to split the operation between several sites. Now the case study. So a bit of context, where we are, what Kozanam company looks like, a little review and tour of this of this case study. So first of all, the context. So Kozenham owns 2 warehouses, and they're almost full warehouses, forcing them to get really nicely designed process to make them work properly. They used 3 main carriers with 4 delivery units, and they had to achieve tens of thousands of delivery lines per day. We have a little overview of the warehouse map here with several places like the pallet storage in the high bay. We have a picking and a shelving zone, and of course the receiving deck and the picking and the output zone. To be noticed that they also have a vertical lift, an automated storage or carousel that allows to store single pieces of goods. The equipment, they use 3 types of trucks that then imply we need handover places to go from one type of machine to another. They use the vertical carousel with which we had to interface, and a measurement machine to take the dimension of the product. And finally, of course, they use barcode scanners to run all their operation in the shop floor area. Storage type. So there's several types of storage in this warehouse. We have the single and multiple pallets through. We have a special pallet position for liquids product. We have the vertical automated lift position with several size of bins. We have a long goods area and a dangerous goods area. And finally, we have a rather big shelving zone with different bin size to host the different boxes. So what about the process inside we're going to review together? So first of all, an overview of the process we're going to go through. So procurement and purchase is not part of this demo. We will assume it has been done before. And when we go through, we will start at the reception of the goods and go through all the process till we stock the product. And then we will see how we can take a customer order and ship it. So the procurement purchase part. So the procurement part is done through the DDMRP buffer interface that allows you to trigger at proper time the procurement, and it goes through a freight optimization process that allows you to lower your freight cost. After that moment, we go through the standard purchase app of Odoo, and we follow the standard process here that allows you to deal and negotiate with your supplier as in a standard Odoo instance. A little overview of the screen that we will not have the opportunity to review together. So you have here the DDMRP, I would say, dashboard, where you see in red what should be procured or replenished the earlier. A little insight of a buffer with all the parameters that you can actually set to tune it. And finally, a purchase orders like standard Odoo that you probably know to actually place your order to your vendors. And now I would like to invite you to go in the shop floor with me, and we will go through the rest of the process downstairs in the warehouse directly. So we're here at the reception desk. A truck just arrived, and we're going to unload the goods to receive them properly in the system. Okay, so this is where we will receive the goods. We have first to match the reception with the proper purchase order and select the reception. And then we open the reception screen that will guide the operator through a step-by-step approach for receiving the goods. Every pallet, every logistic unit will be labeled with a unique ID that will allow every further operation in the warehouse to occur properly. So here, after a reception desk, we have labeled each pallet with its own barcode, and we're going to process the put away. So basically the system, when we will scan, the logistic unit will complete the final destination according to the storage type. And the storage type is really the first key value of all this work that will compute the final destination according to the constraints, the weight, the height, and the storage type, if it's a pallet, if it's a box, if it's an AU pallet, a US pallet. And it's also capable of handling the handover point when the machine cannot go to the final destination. So here we are at the take order stage. So we are able to receive orders from several channels, from EDI, manual encoded, or through the web shop. And the goal of these steps is really to check the accordance of the order through the business rules. We can manage, for example, weekly deliveries or minimum order amount or such a kind of rules. When it gets into the system, we checked against the business rule that will verify the customer service agreement to be sure the order respects the rules in place. Okay, so here we are at the heart of the warehouse management system. This is from there that we pilot all warehouse operation using the stock allocation. This is the second key value of this system that allows the warehouse manager to pilot his operation by releasing a set of priority deliveries one batch after another. The main point about the stock allocation is to decouple the order confirmation from the final stock booking to allow the warehouse manager to really drive their operation. And they simply release it using these action items from this menu here, and that releases a batch of operation. Okay, so when we release the operation, it applies the reservation rule that we have defined according to the business rules of the warehouses, and this will actually make the final stock reservation of the goods where they are. When we make the final booking of the stock, it triggers the dynamic routing of operation. It's a new mechanism we implemented here that allows to reclassify the operation in the proper operation type depending on where they have been booked. So we are here at the performing the replenishment. One, we have made the release of order. We want to trigger the replenishment to fulfill the order properly. So we do that using the GDMRP screen here that shows you what you should replenish in order to complete your order. You have all the details where you stand regarding your stock level, and this allows you to manage also your capacity in your shelving zone. So we are here at the prepare order stage. We are in front of the vertical automated carousel that we have interfaced with Odoo, and I will show you how we can pick up the goods from here. So the system tells you where to grab the goods. You get a laser pointer to avoid the mistakes, and it tells you how many boxes you have to take. So in that case, I'm going to grab one boxes, put it here, and then I need to scan my destination. Then I save, and I release the tray, and it's done. Okay, we're still on the prepare order stage. So while some people are picking in the vertical automated carousel, others are actually doing the zone or cluster picking. Here we will demo a cluster picking, and we have a full barcode application running. So here you are in the menu to run the cluster picking. People ask to get work, and this releases the next priority order that the guy should pick all together. And for this, it just need to start it to get the instruction or where it should go. And of course, it is in an organized sequence. So here we're gonna pick the first item, and the system will organize one bin in the roller cage per order. Okay, so we are here in the consolidate and ship stage. So there are several packing zones here for pallet, for roller cage. Here we are for shipment by post to ship parcels. And we will only use the barcode scanner to actually process these steps. We have all the interface with the carrier, and it will also print out the proper document for shipping. So here we scan it the first time to identify the package and the order. And we scan it the second time to take the package. There we can consolidate several packages into one, all done through the barcode scanners. He scans the code to know how many labels he wants to print out, and the checkout shipping is actually done. So this is it. We are reaching the end of this presentation. We have reviewed together a complete process within this amazing warehouse. What you should retain is that we have now a complete warehouse management system designed for Odoo, and you find more information following the links that you see on the screen.
Hello everyone, my name is Sophie and I'm working at Odoo as a business advisor, and today I'm with Joël. Hello Joël.
Hello.
You just saw me in the video, of course, and the goal of our little session here is basically a Q&A session, and together we'll go over 3 or 4 questions we saw in the chat here. We have a chat in real time next to the video, and with Joël we saw some interesting questions. So Joël, I'm going to ask you some questions today. So the first one is about the versions of Odoo, because as you may know, today and tomorrow is the Odoo Experience event, and we launched the new version of Odoo, the version 14 already. And so the first question was, what about this version? On which version are you currently working? And do you intend to implement this new version?
Yes, so we started this work on version 12, and we've migrated it already to version 13. The project went live on version 13 a couple of weeks ago, and now we of course plan to work on version 14, but probably that won't start before next year.
Yeah, okay. Beginning of next year, maybe 2021. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Perfect. Then I see another interesting question about the whole system. How long did it take to create such a system, the one you just presented to us today?
Well, it required a lot of experience from the people working on it, decades probably, but we worked 2 years on this sets of modules for Odoo. So we started in 2018, and we shipped it just a few weeks ago into production.
Yeah, okay, so it's brand new. And do you have clients currently using it already?
Yes, so the biggest client of Camp to Camp is using this system, and we plan to integrate it next year on 2 or 3 other customers that already requested it.
Okay, and I have a little question also, if I may. We saw in this video a huge warehouse. So actually, where did you record this video?
So it's the warehouse of Cosanum Logistic. It's a medical logistic company located in Zurich, Switzerland. And it's true, it's kind of a big warehouse. And I was recording this video on the 3rd day of the go live. So it was kind of a nice moment.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Okay. Very, very nice. I see that I have also another question. It's about the modules, because you just talk about a wide range of modules. Do we have to pay for it? Is it free? Is it open source? How does it work actually if I want to use it?
So yes, so the whole sets of modules has been released under the Odoo community umbrella on GitHub. They are all under an open source license, and that was the goal from the beginning, to create an ecosystem that is completely open source.
Yeah, and maybe we have some viewers today, and maybe some of them don't know exactly what open source mean. Maybe you could explain a little bit further. What does it mean to be open source?
So open source is as opposed as a proprietary license. So you know that in other world you can choose the both worlds. So either a proprietary license that you can pay to get the code and use the solution, or the open source one where it's free to use and you get the code accessible for your own usage. That's the main difference. Well, people knowing open source will needs me lots more explanation, but as a short answer, that's what I can provide.
The idea is just to understand what it means. It's perfect. Okay, I have a question in the chat. I think it's related to all this system and the modules you created together. The question is there any documentation available on those modules?
Well, that's for now we did not have the time to write any. So but I think it's really something that will have to be done in the future to document this work, because this is the way you can spread its widespread use, I would say. So yes, it will be planned, but it's not yet released. We have to work on it next year.
Yeah, okay.
Today we focus on making this work and making it live. So that was the goal.
Yeah. And you said earlier that it took you 2 years to create this system. And I have an interesting question here from Lee, which is asking, you said it took 2 years to implement. Do you mean implementing Odoo completely, or to implement the warehouse system as a whole?
That's a very interesting question. So when we started this project, we implemented this project and went live with one app at a time. And we started with the contact and the CRM, and that was done in a couple of weeks. And today we are 2 years later. So when I say it took 2 years, so the whole project for the customer took 2 years. Within these 2 years, we made the conception of this warehouse management system as well as its integration. So if now you have to start your own, you can benefit for all this work. So of course the integration time could be much shorter. Here we have really to make all the concept and to develop all the apps. Yeah. And now they are here, they are fully configurable. And of course, integrating that a second time will take much less time.
Yeah, it's not the same to create a whole solution and to implement it. Of course. Because if it's already created, it will be much shorter, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. And you said a client is already using it. And in this case, how long did it take for you to implement this for the client?
Well, that was a big job. So it took around 1,000 days of work to make this project. Yeah, okay. And the conception of the system was 2,000 days. So in total, it was 3,000 days or around. Yeah. So it was kind of a big project.
Yeah, but it's the biggest project. Maybe for now it's the first one. So yeah, you have to get used to implement this brand new solution.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if you, Joël, do you have any other questions? But I guess based on the chats here live, we talk about pretty much everything for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Sorry. Do you have some?
No. It's okay. I was switching to the other tab to get to the chat. I have no time to really read that, so I guess I heard we may have a room for any person wanting to ask more questions, so maybe it would be interesting to put a link somewhere.
Yeah, to have a Q&A extended session. Yeah, I think
if some people are interested in, I'm happy to stay a bit longer here.
Yeah,
no problem.
It could be interesting, of course. Okay, so thank you very much, Joël, for your time and for this presentation.
Welcome.
It was very, very interesting. As we talk about, we can definitely organize an extended Q&A sessions because there are more and more questions now, so I think it could be interesting for the viewers, of course.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And
thank you to you.
Enjoy the Odoo Experience event with the
Thank you.
talk, and we see you soon.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.